Thank you for joining me for this tutorial, Introduction to Internationalization. Internationalization, better known as I-18N because there are 18 letters between the I and the N, in Servoy, it supports over 50 languages. You can translate your own strings, and Servoy will display the correct version. All of the I-18N data is held in a database table. That allows you to build your own user interface to add or edit items, as well as the option to show the Servoy built-in dialog for adding and editing I-18N values. I-18N in Servoy works both in the Smart Client as well as the web client. Let's go ahead and pop over to Servoy Developer and check out how it works. All right, I've created a sample solution, Intro to I-18N, and created a single form based on the customers table in the example data connection. The first thing that we need to do is we need to go to the window menu, and we need to choose Preferences. Then, go ahead and click on the I-18N item, and you'll see that there's a setup page for I-18N. There's a default I-18N server, as well as a default I-18N table. For this example, I'm going to use the user data connection. And since I don't have a table already created there, I'm going to go ahead and click the Create button. So when it's done processing, Servoy created a new table called I-18N Messages on the server called User Data. Well, that's all it takes to set it up. Now we'll go ahead and click the OK button. Now that we have our I-18N table set up, it's all ready to go. If I go down here, then I see the text is company name. So before we can change this to an I-18N value, we have to create I-18N values. To do that, scroll down until you see I-18N, right-click, and choose Edit I-18N Messages. When you do that, you'll see a dialog box that comes up and shows you all of your pre-existing strings. You can come up with any naming convention that you want, but it should be consistent. So because this is the company name label, I'm going to make my key LBL company name. I'm going to enter the reference text in here, and that's going to be company name, and the English translation is going to be company name. Now I can go over here and click the Add Update button, and it added it to the top of the list for me. I can go down here and click OK. Now when I click on my company name, and I go down to the text, click on it, and then click on the little ellipse button, it shows me that this string is hard-coded as company name. But we want to choose an I-18N value. So we're going to go to the I-18N tab, and there's our LBL company. So I'm going to choose that and click OK. Notice how it displays what the I-18N key is. Let's save our form. I'm going to do Control-S, and it says company name. So even though on the form it says LBL company name, when it opens up in Smart Client or on the web client, it's going to say company name. Now let's go ahead and add another translation so we can see how it looks in a different language. Let's close the Smart Client, and then come back to our I-18N message editor. I'm going to right-click on I-18N and choose Edit I-18N Messages. Then, let's click on our label company name. So we have the English translation for it, which is company name, but let's do another translation. And the translation that we're going to choose is Dutch, also known as Nederland. All right, so notice the list at the bottom here now has changed to show me what all of the translated strings that I have already in Dutch. Well, I don't speak Dutch, so I'm going to cheat. I've gone up to the internet, and I've entered company name into a translation site. So now I can get this company name. I'm going to copy that, then come back over here to my I-18N editor and paste it in. So I'm going to say Add or Update, and there it is. Let's go ahead and exit this and see how that works. Notice my label hasn't changed at all. To see the change, we need to view it in Smart Client. So it's still set to the English value company name. This is because my locale or my location for this operating system is English United States. But every client can go ahead and change that. So to simulate what it would look like in Dutch, we go to Edit, Preferences in the Smart Client, and we can change our locale. Netherlands, and I click OK. Our menu's changed, but our string didn't. And the reason that our string didn't change is because it's already been loaded. So now that I've set the preference, let's close it and reopen it, and we should see our new company name string. And there you have it. There's our Dutch translation with our Dutch menus. We'll change it back to English. We'll close it and open it one more time. That's a basic overview of internationalization, or IETN, in Servoy. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.